Our theme. Hi, I'm Mark, poet with guitar, today in Chicago, and welcome you all to the Poets React. Here, myself and my fine poet panel will discuss a poem that we've never seen or know what we're going to see, and we're just going to react. Marissa.
Thank you, Mark. Hello, my fine poet panel this evening. I am Marissa. I'm a spoken word artist and poet in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don't forget, if you're watching us, to comment in the chat, ask questions. We love hearing from you. Lawin.
Hey, hi everyone. If Mark is the poet with guitar, then I am the poet on the steering wheel right now. I, I'm calling in from Manila. I'm driving around, but I'm here for Poets Reacts. This is episode 6, is it? We hope you've been following, and do take the time to subscribe to the channel, do the like thing, do press all the press all the likes that you can, because this is a really awesome show. Kemlin, hey there.
Hi everyone,
Hello.
this is Kemlin and I'm having some audio issues, so I'm going to ask you all to send in the poem, but I'm going to have to sign off so that I can get back in.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin.
So in the meantime, perhaps we can take a fast look at the poem.
Hang on, Mark, it's coming.
Say hello to Martin. Hello, Martin Gray.
I was aware of becoming involved in her laughter and being part of it until her teeth were only accidental stars with a talent for squad drill. I was drawn in by short gasps, inhaled at each momentary recovery, lost finally in the dark caverns of her throat, bruised by the ripple of unseen muscles. An elderly waiter with trembling hands was hurriedly spreading a pink and white checked cloth over the rusty green iron table, saying, "If the lady and gentleman wish to take their tea in the garden, if the lady and gentleman wish to take their tea in the garden." I decided that if the shaking of her breasts could be stopped, some of the fragments of the afternoon might be collected, and I concentrated my attention with careful subtlety to this end.
Oh my God, I love Martin like so much. Martin, that was hot. That was hot. I have a feeling that was not his own poem though. He was doing a cover.
Unfortunately, I need to hear the poem one more time. I missed too much of it.
You just want to hear it because you want to hear it one more time.
I want to hear it. Is it possible to play that over for us so we can react? Thank you.
As she laughed, I was aware of becoming involved in her laughter and being part of it until her teeth were only accidental stars with a talent for squad drill. I was drawn in by short gasps, inhaled at each momentary recovery, lost finally in the dark caverns of her throat, bruised by the ripple of unseen muscles. An elderly waiter with trembling hands was hurriedly spreading a pink and white checked cloth over the rusty green iron table, saying, "If the lady and gentleman wish to take their tea in the garden, if the lady and gentleman wish to take their tea in the garden." I decided that if the shaking of her breasts could be stopped, some of the fragments of the afternoon might be collected, and I concentrated my attention with careful subtlety to this end.
Yeah, Martin Gray. Oh, Mark, did you get it the second time? Or do you need another hit?
I lost a lot, and I think that perhaps is one of the deficiencies of some of the Zoom things we have. We're coming from all over the planet. I'm in Chicago, Marissa's in Albuquerque, Lawan in Philippines, and all that.
That's okay. We'll tell you when you're older. It's fine. It's fine.
And, the only thing I could pick up from the poem was a sense of T.S. Eliot. But I don't know the poem by Eliot. I don't think that poem was by Eliot. The Ladies in the Garden, the way it was repeated, kind of reminds me a little of the Wasteland and some of the things that Eliot would do in Prufrock. But I wish I could say more about it, but unfortunately I just lost too much of it. I'd love to be able to read the poem perhaps as he's performing it. That might give us a better chance in this particular platform. But I would like to.
I feel bad teasing you because you did. But later, when you read it, you'll watch this back and you will be like, "Oh my gosh, yes, it was a beautiful poem, and it was hot. It was like hot. Like I need a fan right now. Look, we should have a special fan icon when things are so hot. We need to just fan ourselves. Get lost in the ripples of her throat. Come on. Yes, yes, and yes. Mark's like, that was in the poem? Lawan, what did you think? He's driving and he hasn't wrecked yet, so that's a good sign.
No, the first thing I have to say is that Mark as a voice, all right, Mark as a voice can read a menu and sound amazing. I think that's the first thing that we have to realize. And then yes, the piece itself is quite the number hotness wise. I have to agree. And it didn't have to take quivering breasts for me to pay attention. It was all
that
throughout.
Was the end. They talked about coming in the very first, like on the first 3 words. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, if I think what I'd like to do is draw reference to the piece from last week, right, with that Rumi thing, which even though it was Rumi, it still felt a little heavy-handed. This felt sexy.
And Martin was delivering it, right? And Martin's, to me, I would not have expected this to come out of Martin's mouth, which is why I don't think Martin wrote it. But the fact that he has this British accent, and then he goes back to the T. But in my dirty mind, I am thinking T means something different. And so then he tries to go back, we care for tea. And like he's going back into that conservative thing. But so it's like a little cat and mouse happening, I think, in the poem.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Martin,
I like the visualization of saving fragments of the afternoon. Yeah, if I can stop these breasts from quivering, I can save bits of the afternoon. It's like, oh my. Yeah.
It was beautiful. And then talking about the bruising, and the breath and the teeth opening, like it was. I think probably I'll watch this back. I think my mouth was opening as I was reading it. Like, yeah. I find me someone who writes that in like my age range. She's not dead already, right? I mean, it sounds bad, but yes. Poor Mark.
I'm very verbose, and I always have something to say, and all that. But I just picked up so little from the poem. Unfortunately, tonight I would only be forcing the issue. I'm sorry, so sorry.
No, it's okay. We'll tell you when you're older. It's not a problem.
If there's one thing, for me, I wanted it a little longer. It felt like it ended too soon.
I want it to go longer, yes.
Yeah, but maybe I'm not sure if that's part of the design, for it to leave you wanting. But yeah, I felt we should have done more.
He talks about the checkerboard tablecloth, laying it out. And I think it really should have been a copper table if it was starting to turn teal and green instead of a steel table. A copper table would have made more sense to me for the decay of that metal and how it turns this teal green color. I could have wrapped my mind around that a little more. But I wanted to know, what are they going to lay on the table? Are they laying tea, or are they laying themselves? Are they laying the tea and themselves? Is the
Well, you know
tablecloth
what they,
even making the table?
the classic choice that's given people, right? Hey, refreshments, coffee, tea, or me?
Right, exactly. I would have loved to see them lay out the tablecloth that they were going to try to get through tea, and then they wound up wrapping the tablecloth around themselves because they were the tea. They drink it, like one of the lines I write, we drink each other thirsty, right? I would have loved to see them use each other as the tea. Would have been really an incredible visual in this piece that still would not have gone to raunchy. It still could have been sensual and been along the lines of what they found. Was it just his pleasure? Was it her pleasure? Because really we're kind of focusing on his, right? So where's the compersion? Where's the giving and the receiving? And where's the cat and mouse, the give and take? It could have definitely, I could have gone a few more rounds on that.
There you go.
The only thing I can say for sure, it seemed to me to be a page poem that was read well, because I think the reader is an excellent reader. As I was picking up little parts of it, and I think that's an important distinction in a sense. It didn't sound like it was written as a performance poem. It sounded like it was written as a page poem. But and we will be discussing that, I'm sure, a lot as we go forward, because right now there's a break in the modern tradition here of performance poetry against page poetry, and in a sense, I mean, it's a good argument, and it's a healthy discussion, and I think Martin, of course, can make any poem sound good. I agree with you, Lowen.
Hmm.
And I would say, though, that sometimes perhaps he's relying on his accent a little too much to make up for the lack of performance. I would have liked to have been sucked in. Like, I would have liked maybe a little more pauses, a little more intense in the eyes, maybe a little closer and farther away from the camera. I mean, I would have preferred, rather than a recitation, maybe like an exhibition of like a little more acting to go along with it. And it's very true, at least for us Americans, we tend to fall all over ourselves when there's a poet who has an accent. Oh my God, it's depressing. And sometimes that cuts, right? Because it doesn't allow us to really pay attention and listen, and it doesn't allow them to work as hard as they need to work to get that attention. So for a short piece with an accent like Martin's, and the writing, it was phenomenal. But to go more rounds, I would need a little more investment from the actor, because at this point you're acting the piece.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Right.
an interesting, just that one point alone, that the issue of accent, because for Lowen, for us here in America, the British accent has a certain mystique and a certain, a way that almost we look at it with a certain reverence. I'm not sure if it's the
Right.
same where you are in the Philippines, but.
Well,
It did feel like like we were being a little dirty with the Brits. It did feel like I was like, whoa. I did feel like I was a little shock factor there.
well, you know what
All
they
right,
say,
Lowen,
the
we have like 30
Filipino
seconds, my
accent was
friend.
the Filipino accent. They say it's one of the sexier accents right now. No, I'm not sure if that's true, even in America. But yes, we're very much enjoying all kinds of accent because it's exotic, and oftentimes it's very sexy also.
I really think it's just people with the name Lowen. I mean, really. All right, guys. Well, it looks like we're at the end for today. I am so humbled to be here with my fellow poet panel. They are on fire tonight. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, IG, Instagram, Twitter. We are everywhere. excuse me, tomorrow is Poets Lighthouse, 3 a.m. London time. I'm not sure if we're going to have Bottoms Up on Saturday or not, but definitely stay tuned for the next event. We're very, very excited to bring you episode next Friday. And as we react to poems, we sure hope you pick up your pen and take action with it so that maybe one day we'll be reading your poem. Have a great night, everyone.
Next time.
Thank you, guys.